Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Travel Frog. Start with a sparkling fruit. Chapter 61. Although a little ashamed, Tang Jing finally saved the photo silently. Anyway, it is one of its own legends. Keep it as a memory for the future. After saving the photos, finally no new photos popped up. And since the baby frog hasn't come back yet, there's nothing else to do in the game. So, Tang Jing quit the game after harvesting a wave of clover. Open your eyes, at the summit, Song Changqing and others are coming down from above. And the teachers and students from the top 10 famous schools on the side of the ring have also gathered in the past. Tang Jing and the others also followed, as a way of seeing them off. After all, this is Function Academy, so there are still proper etiquettes. A group of people walked out of the sports field and walked towards the gate of Function Academy. During the period, the teachers from the top 10 famous schools were obviously much quieter when compared with each other. Even Song Changqing lost the smile on his face and talked a lot less. All the way to the gate, Song Changqing said goodbye to Shen Tianlin briefly, and then walked away. A group of people followed silently. The vice president of Tiandu University left the team and came to Shidao. Xiao Tao, I'm sorry for what happened just now. Teacher Song is also impatient. How about we go back first? I'll ask her to apologize to you immediately. Shidao shook his head. Uncle, Tiandu University, I don't like it. You can go back. The words are simple, but the tone is very firm. The vice president of Tiandu University sighed, obviously wanting to say something else, but looking at Shen Tianlin next to him, he had no choice but to leave in the end. Watching Song Changqing and others go away, Tang Jing came to Shen Tianlin's side. Teacher, let them go like this, Tang Jing said in a low voice. What do you want to say? Shen Tianlin kaido lightly. I want to say that they are targeting Function Academy so much, and President Shang even took such a risk, he wants to vent his anger. Are you really not going to do anything? Tang Jing's eyes were full of suspicion. Shen Tianlin turned around and stared at Tang Jing for a while, then walked towards the academy. It's all gone. Tang Jing, you come with me. Bai Zhansheng and the others cast worried looks at Tang Jing. They also heard Tang Jing's words just now. Tang Jing waved his hand, indicating that he was fine, and then followed Shen Tianlin with big strides. I thought I was going to Shen Tianlin's office. Unexpectedly, I went to the west side of the college. Tang Jing thought about it. If I remember correctly, this seems to be a cemetery. Sure enough, a cemetery soon appeared in front of Tang Jing. Tang Jing has never been to this cemetery. He just heard that all the teachers and students who died in the Function Academy were buried here. Of course, summer cloaks. Because the body was nowhere to be found. Function College is also the only university with a cemetery on campus. Others, including the top 10 prestigious schools, actually don't have this thing. Shen Tianlin walked into the cemetery, picked up a broom, and began to sweep the fallen leaves from the tombs. Seeing his proficiency, it is obvious that he should come to clean frequently. Tang Jing didn't think too much, and took a broom to follow. Neither the old nor the young spoke, but silently cleaned the entire cemetery. After cleaning the last tomb, Shen Tianlin supported the broom and said, I'm actually very hesitant. His voice was a little hoarse. The reason why the top 10 famous schools made such a design is actually another reason besides the appropriation and resources of the seminary. Or, that's the main reason. That is, some people in the government want to negotiate peace with the super-large secret realm in Ningjing City. Once the peace talks are successful, the existence of Function Academy will have little meaning. After all, Function Academy has been regarded as a special product of a special period, and its teaching model is completely out of line with today's mainstream. Tang Jing felt a little unbelievable. Peace talks with the secret realm. Are these people crazy? This is really the first time I heard this idea. Shen Tianlin shook his head. It's not crazy, this kind of thinking has always been there, but in the past 2 years, with the rise of some people, it has gradually become the mainstream. Ningjing City is the one with the deepest contact and the most familiarity among the several super-large secret realms in the country. So, they want to be the first to take the knife here. If the peace talks can be successful, the domestic pressure will be much less. But, I'm not reconciled. Shen Tianlin looked at the many tombs in the cemetery, his old eyes turned red. For decades, How many teachers and students of Function Academy have died there? How many arrogances who should have become famous in the world have fallen among them at a young age? Talk about peace, why? Shen Tianline's words were full of unwillingness. When Feng Seminary was established, there were 36 teachers in the first batch. The first batch of students consisted of 72 students. We jokingly call it Tiangong Disha. And now, I am the only one who has survived until now. Over the past few decades, I have sent away batch after batch of students, one after another college teachers, and died in the secret realm. Now a peace talk wants me to let go of all this. How can I do this? So at first, I refused. We are not qualified to forgive those enemies for our dead compatriots. But, Shen Tianline sighed slightly. Seeing all the young faces dying in the secret realm, I was slowly shaken. I repeatedly questioned myself, whether such persistence is worth it. Do you really want to let so many young Tianzhao die on that battlefield because of my persistence? Over the decades, too many people have been sacrificed. I sent too many people away. Shen Tianline burst into tears. At this time, he was no longer the majestic principal of the Monster Academy, no longer the strong man who could kill the gods. Just an ordinary old man in his dying days. Speaking of this, Tang Jing understood it. So you chose to let it go and let the top 10 famous schools toss and design. Shen Tianline nodded slightly, yes. With all due respect, are you old-fashioned? Quote. Listening to Tang Jing's words, Shen Tianline was stunned. He, Shen Tianline, the dean of Function Academy, a strong man who can kill gods, was scolded by his own students. And he's a freshman who's only been in school for a month. But Tang Jing didn't worry so much, but continued. The secret realm will eventually merge with this world. Peace talks, that is to say, when the time comes, let those alien races in the secret realm live on our land. Don't say how risky this behavior is, but just say this behavior itself is a brain damage. The territory of the country is sacred and inviolable. Now that the Kyushu is strong and powerful, with hundreds of millions of suns and thousands of miles of rivers and mountains, they actually want to cede land for peace. What do you think? Our ancestors have always said in the face of aggression, no peace, no compensation, no cede land, no tribute. After fighting against the secret realm for so many years, the strength has increased, but the backbone has been lost. It's just ridiculous. Tang Jing became more and more angry. Also, have you considered whether it is fair to our freshmen that you make this choice? Everyone in the academy is working hard, but you, the principal, are actually shaken first. You are a traitor. As soon as Tang Jing said the last sentence, Shen Tianline slapped him on the back of the head. Stinky boy, how do you talk? Ahem. Tang Jing coughed twice, and said with a dry smile, isn't this emotional? Rearranging the language, Tang Jing said, I know what you are hesitating, how about it, why don't you ask everyone how they are? Shen Tianline was startled. Since you are worried that we will sacrifice, have you asked us if we are willing to sacrifice for it? Tang Jing said softly. Shen Tianline froze for a moment. Then, he nodded heavily. Good. Putting the broom back in place, Shen Tianline strode towards the outside of the cemetery. Tang Jing bowed towards the many tombs in the cemetery, and then followed quickly. When he was about to walk out of the cemetery, Shen Tianline suddenly stopped, turned around and said, don't tell others about my crying. Otherwise I'll beat you. Ahem, definitely. Tang Jing almost choked. He didn't expect Shen Tianline to remember this. Walking out of the cemetery, Tang Jing saw that Shang Rui and others had also returned. However, a few people's breaths were slightly sluggish, and they might have been injured. But overall it's okay, no one should be killed. Shen Tianline jumped up and flew to the sports field. At the same time, his voice spread throughout the academy. Everyone come to the stadium to gather quickly, and explain something. Because of the victory of the exchange battle and the news that Shang Rui and others blocked the gates of the top 10 schools, the courtyard was full of students celebrating. Hearing Shen Tianline's voice, everyone froze for a moment. Is there something to explain? What's the matter? Are you going to the top 10 famous schools to make trouble? If yes, I just want to say take me one. While discussing, everyone hurried to the stadium. The gate of Function Academy. Shang Rui strode into the academy with several injured companions, like a victorious general. Next to them are several college leaders and teachers who were responsible for meeting them. However, the faces of several teachers were not very good. You have a lot of skills, right? How dare you block the door? That's one of the top 10 famous schools. They have been famous for so many years. If we hadn't gone there in time, you would have been beaten to death, believe it or not. Do you really think that if the elders don't make a move, you will be invincible? Xiang Rui curled her lips. I don't know if I'm invincible or not, anyway, I didn't lose a game today. Song Chushin's face turned dark. That's because you went in such a hurry that people didn't have time to prepare. Otherwise, the wheel battle alone will make you feel better. Xiang Rui is Song Chushin's student. Song Chushin, with a dark face, asked the female doctor in the infirmary who came over, how are the injured students doing, whether it is serious or not, and whether it will affect their future cultivation. On the one hand, he scolded Xiang Rui and the others with a dark face, saying that they would deduct their resources and so on. Xiang Rui didn't take it to heart at all. He knew his teacher very well, and his face was dark every day, but he couldn't be ruthless at all. And even if the resources are deducted, it's nothing. For him, the academy is actually more of a platform to obtain resources more conveniently. If you really want to practice, the resources allocated by the academy are simply not enough to support you. If you want to be stronger than others and practice faster, you still have to think of ways yourself. While several teachers were educating the students, Shen Tianline's voice suddenly came over. Everyone come to the stadium to gather quickly, and explain something. Several people looked at each other in blank dismay. What's the matter, principal? They heard the seriousness in Shen Tianline's tone. Xiang Rui shrank his head. Isn't it going to teach us a lesson in front of all the teachers and students? It's a bit embarrassing. After all, the group still quickened their pace and hurried to the stadium. A few minutes later, all the teachers and students in the school came to the sports field to gather. Shen Tianline stood alone on the summit platform, and the rest of the teachers and students stood under the summit platform. Seeing that everyone had already come, Shen Tianline didn't hesitate, and said directly, there are a lot of things that happened today. First of all, I am here to thank the students who participated in the exchange battle today. You guys have defended the dignity of Function Academy. Of course, this honor also belongs to all freshmen. In addition, my incompetent principal, I am also here to apologize to the new students of the college. Because of my inaction, you have taken too much pressure and responsibility. Sorry. Shen Tianline bowed to the audience. The entire stadium was instantly silent. Everyone didn't understand what happened to Shen Tianline. This includes all school leaders and teachers. Bai Zhansheng and the others looked at Tang Jing as if they were watching a ghost. They didn't forget that it was Tang Jing who followed Shen Tianline just now. And now Shen Tianline has become like this. Think carefully. Tang Jing didn't pay attention to these, and his attention was also on Shen Tianline at this time. Straightening up again, Shen Tianline continued. Function Academy moved to Ningjing for decades, and sacrificed a large number of teachers and students. Every year, a new tombstone will be erected in the Academy's cemetery. I just want to ask here today, are you still willing to continue fighting with that super large secret realm in Ningjing City? This question is not only asked of freshmen and old students, but also the teachers of the college. Are you still willing to continue fighting with them? Seeing that someone was about to speak immediately, Shen Tianline quickly stopped him. Don't rush to answer, you can think about it first. Because someone from above proposed to negotiate peace with that super large secret realm in Ningjing City. It's just that I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm hesitating whether to accept the offer or not. Accepting this proposal, the previous sacrifice may be in vain. But if you don't accept it, I'm afraid many of you present will die in that secret realm in the future. Sorry, as the principal, I cannot make this choice. So, I can only leave the choice to you. Are you still willing to continue fighting? Slightly closing his eyes, Shen Tianline calmed down. It's still the same sentence. Don't rush to answer. Think about it carefully. You can even call back and ask your family. I'll wait for your answer in half an hour. After the words fell, Shen Tianline did not leave. Instead, he stood upright on the summit platform, waiting quietly. Like a sculpture. After Shen Tianline finished speaking, all the teachers and students under the summit stage looked at each other in blank dismay, and then they all started frying. Huang Tianren and other college leaders finally understood where Shen Tianline's anomalies in recent years came from. There are too many things on his mind. Huang Tianren sighed. After all, he personally sent away so many old friends, relatives and friends, as well as his own students. It's not surprising that he would do this. Zhao Heng said. HMPH, I'm still old. The old lady Xie said arrogantly. But the worry on her face betrayed her stubbornness. In the student team, Shang Rui smiled wryly. He finally knew why his previous proposal was rejected. What are you hesitating about? You don't need to hesitate. Shang Rui whispered to himself. All teachers and students were caught in the discussion. Among them, the old student is okay, more relieved, and understands where the various abnormalities before come from. The freshmen are mostly confused. After all, they have been in school for a relatively short time, and they haven't even been exposed to real secret battles, let alone entered super large secret realms. Tang Jing observed his surroundings and found that he didn't know if it was the influence of the world environment. It seemed that students in this world were more independent. This is true even for freshmen who have just entered school. Shen Tianline said that he could call home to inquire. But there are very few people who actually make calls. After getting through the initial confusion, many people quickly made a decision. As for Tang Jing himself, his choice had actually been told to Shen Tianline in the cemetery. No seed land, no peace talks. The territory of the country is inviolable. Shen Tianline gave 30 minutes. But in fact, after 20 minutes, all the teachers and students had already returned to their original positions. After standing there in silence for 10 minutes, half an hour has passed. Shen Tianline said hoarsely, "How are you thinking? Think about it. What's the point of this? It's over." There was a mixed response from the audience. Shen Tianline nodded, and stretched out his hand to summon 2 rings. Those who are willing to continue fighting, stand on the ring on the left, those who are unwilling, stand on the ring on the right. The teacher comes first, the old students come next, and the freshmen come last. After finishing the words, Song Chushan was the first to jump to the ring on the left. Hypocritical, he said with a straight face. Huang Tianren took a slow step. I have such an old bone. It's not bad to be buried in that secret place. Take a step forward, and the person has appeared in the ring on the left. Zhou Meiyu smiled lightly and followed. Then, Zhao Heng, Mrs. Xie, Wang Hongyang, the craftsman master, and others also made choices one after another. Without exception, they all chose the left ring. Shen Tianline was not too surprised by this result. But what happened next took him by surprise. Among the old students, Shang Rui jumped up and was the first to make a choice. Ring on the left. War. Then, the few people who followed him to block the gates of the top 10 famous schools walked out one after another. Without exception, they are all on the left side of the ring. The rest of the old students walked, or ran, or jumped, or flew, or even used their abilities. Under each means, they also chose the ring on the left. In a blink of an eye, the new student arrived. Bai Zhansheng rushed to the front, the first one to rush to the ring. He chose left. The rest of the freshmen also walked firmly, stepping onto the left ring one after another, including the 2 most injured in today's exchange battle. At this time, they were barely able to walk, and with the support of their classmates, they walked up to the ring on the left. Shi Dao, a student from Function Academy who just joined, also walked to the ring on the left. Tang Jing is the last one. Looking at the choices made by everyone, he was also a little surprised. He originally thought that there should be many people who are willing to fight, but there are probably some who are not. But he didn't expect that everyone would choose to. Looking up at Shen Tianline on the summit stage, Tang Jing showed a bright smile. Principal, are you satisfied with this answer? I know that there are still some teachers and seniors who are out of school and haven't come back. But I believe that their choice will be the same. After the words fell, Tang Jing, a shunpo, quietly appeared on the left side of the ring. All the teachers and students in the school have been selected. The arena on the left is full. The arena on the right is empty. Shen Tianline looked at the crowd on the ring, and for a moment didn't know what to say. You, what are you doing this for? His voice was choked up, but he couldn't control it in the end. 2 lines of turbid tears flowed down. It's been fighting for so many years, why? You can't let the dead die in peace. Huang Tianren sighed. I still haven't avenged my students, peace talks. Talk about shit. Mrs. Xie was very disdainful. Decades of lives of compatriots, decades of fighting, peace talks. It's thanks to them that they figured it out. Song Chushan said with a cold face. A group of students also opened their mouths. Principal, I am from Ningjing. My ancestors died in the massacre of alien races in the secret realm. This is a feud. My dad said, this is a blood feud, don't forget it. My grandfather is a student of Function Academy. Back then, my father couldn't come in and was almost kicked out of the house. I think that killing the enemy is killing everywhere. I don't want to live under the same sky as the man who killed our fellow man. Voices sounded one by one, corresponding to a pair of firm eyes. As the saying goes, we only know that the blood debt must be paid with blood. Looking at those firm eyes, Shen Tianline's lips trembled. Turning his back and wiping his eyes, he smiled self-deprecatingly. Old, really old. I didn't expect me, an old man, to be inferior to you young people. Yeah, blood debt paid with blood. While muttering, a little brilliance reappeared in Shen Tianline's eyes. Looking at the left ring full of people, Shen Tianline said, have you really decided? A group of people laughed. Certainly. Shen Tianline took a deep breath. In this case, let's open up and play big. Starting tomorrow, Function Academy will open its inventory, and the cultivation resources of all students will be doubled. Everyone, please move on and practice hard. Increase the practice assessment every quarter. If I don't meet the standard, I will go to the secret realm to practice. Fail the test 3 times, go home. All the teachers try their best to fight for resources for the college through various channels. Next year's enrollment season, Function Academy will expand its enrollment. At least recruit 1,000 people. Within 10 years, I will set off a decisive battle with the secret realm of Ningjing City. Even if I can't beat them down, I will beat them down. Can it be done? Following Shen Tianline's roar, all the teachers and students were also excited. Abel, it can be vaguely seen that behind Shen Tianline, there is a cluster of illusory flames swaying gently. Huang Tianren and the others were dumbfounded. Is that the fire of the true God? Has the old man come this far? No wonder you hesitate. Tang Jing huddled beside Huang Tianren and the others, and when he heard what they said, he was stunned. Why didn't he see anything? After explaining the new arrangement, Shen Tianline didn't talk nonsense, and chose to end the show directly. But when he was about to leave, he seemed to have thought of something again, turned around and said, by the way, those who are interested in the National College Student Awakening War in October, you can sign up. This time, we will also participate in the Function Academy. I have no other requirements, just give me the first place. Shang Rui, don't you like challenges? You organize it. If you don't get the first place, I'll take care of you. After finishing speaking, Shen Tianline walked against the sky and left directly. Huang Tianren and the others smiled helplessly and left one after another. Only a group of students were left in the playground. After staring at it with big eyes and small eyes, the old students cheered one after another. FK, finally let me participate. President, I want to sign up. I want to play the Pearl, I have long seen them as disliked. And I'm going to play at Hangzhou University, that kid is too pretentious today. Hasn't that kid from Hangzhou University already been maimed by Tang Jing? Then what does it matter to me? I didn't call it, so I want to have a good time. Looking at the old students who looked like they had been beaten with chicken blood, Tang Jing was very confused. Isn't it just a game? As for being so excited, seeing Bai Zhansheng not far away, Tang Jing pulled him over. Xiaobai, what's going on? Why are they so excited? Hearing Tang Jing's address, Bai Zhansheng wanted to correct him, but after thinking about it, he had no choice but to give up. It's very simple, because Function Academy didn't participate in these before. Bai Zhansheng said in a muffled voice. Not participating. Tang Jing was very surprised, but after thinking about it, it seemed normal. If you participate, with the strength of Function Seminary, you may be able to take the first place every year, so how could you have never heard of it before? Bai Zhansheng nodded. The former Function Academy did not participate in this kind of relatively well-known competition. They prefer to directly enter the secret realm. But the students have always been obsessed with it. After all, young people want to show off. Especially when you see someone whose strength is not as good as yours, and claiming the title of #1 in the country, how can you feel comfortable? A look of understanding appeared on Tang Jing's face. I see. To be honest, hearing what Bai Zhansheng said, Tang Jing wanted to go. But looking at the excited old students, he thought about it and gave up. Anyway, he is only a freshman, so there are plenty of opportunities. Just when Tang Jing was about to leave, a notification sound suddenly sounded in his mind. Ding, Frog Cub's little friend is here to visit, please enter the travel home and receive it in time. The prompt this time seems to be a bit different. Ding, Frog Cub's little friend is here to visit, please enter the travel home and receive it in time. The beep sounded, but Tang Jing didn't react at first, and then suddenly realized that the beep sound was different this time. It's not some frog cubs coming back and taking photos, but friends coming to visit. This function was also available in the previous mini-game. But the ones who visited were all small animals. But now, the worlds that frog cubs travel are those dimensional worlds. In other words, the friends who came here are probably those dimensional characters. Tang Jing's heart was violently excited. Frog cubs have not been to many worlds now, but there are several in detail. One Piece, Shinigami, Pokemon, Detective Conan, Hokage, One Punch Man. Among them, I made many friends. There are even Nico Robin, the little girl from the Hyuga family, the toad from Mount Myoboku, the great demon King Saitama, etc. that have appeared in the photos. Not to mention there are things that don't appear in the photos. Which world will the characters come from? And, who could it be? Tang Jing was looking forward to it. Well, hopefully it's not those toads from Mount Myoboku. Also, what does it mean to be in a travel home? Tang Jing keenly noticed a new word. Travel house is the hut where the frog cub lives in the game. The host can enter when the frog cub's friends come to visit and entertain guests. The prompt sounded at the right time, explaining to Tang Jing. This made Tang Jing even more excited. That is to say, he can meet those dimensional characters directly. Hiss. Just thinking about it is exciting. Because of being too excited, Tang Jing couldn't hide it for a while, and his expression changed a little. Bai Zhansheng asked suspiciously, why are you so excited? You also want to sign up? Ahem, no. Tang Jing coughed dryly twice, and then said hastily, I still have something to do, I'll go back first. After speaking, he ran away without giving Bai Zhansheng a chance to respond. He even used light movement. Bai Zhansheng was dumbfounded. What's wrong? So urgent, Tang Jing returned to the villa as quickly as possible. Then, he entered the underground training room. How do I enter the travel house? Tang Jing asked directly. Concentrate on your mind, and just silently say, enter the traveling home. Your spiritual power will be sent to the traveling home, and a body will be condensed for you. The prompt sound introduced, at the same time reminded again. You can only enter the traveling house when the frog cub's little friends come to visit. Tang Jing ignored it. He directly threw out the Pokemon ball in the pouch on his waist, and let Charmander out. Little Charmander, I'll close my eyes and rest for a while, you just play here, if anyone comes, remember to call me. Charmander patted his chest, indicating that there was no problem. Tang Jing took a deep breath, then sat on the ground and closed his eyes. Enter, travel house. After chanting a sentence in his heart, Tang Jing only felt in a trance for a while. Then, the scene in front of him suddenly changed. He entered a hut with a somewhat old-fashioned feel. It is said to be a hut, but the area is actually not too small. There are wooden tables, bamboo chairs, screens, cabinets and other objects in the house. Next to the wall on the left, there is an earthen stove for cooking with wood. There are even 2 steamers on the stove. On the right is a ladder made of bamboo and wood. Below the ladder are several large vats. And above the ladder is a small wooden attic, where the frog cubs live. How can I say the whole cabin is much better than it looks in the game? It's not that simple, and the various arrangements are better. Especially those furniture and ornaments, all reveal an ancient charm. It doesn't look cheap. Tang Jing looked down at himself. Sure enough, He condensed a body here that was exactly the same as the outside world. Even his abilities can be used here. Not only that, Tang Jing can also do some special things here. For example, with a thought, Tang Jing changed his clothes into a Kyushu ancient costume. It has a black base with golden patterns. Overall, it seems relatively calm and atmospheric. After finishing all the preparations, Tang Jing walked to the two small wooden doors of the house and opened them slowly. The door opened gently. Appearing outside the door was a 10-year-old girl. The girl has shoulder-length black hair and big eyes. A pair of red and black pupils are very attractive. She was wearing a dark-colored dress, holding a thick book in her arms with both hands, and her whole temperament was a little melancholy and lonely. This is Nico Robin. Looking at Tang Jing, Robin raised his head and showed a polite smile. Hello, excuse me, is this the little frog's house? Tang Jing was stunned for a moment, and then immediately realized that what the little frog was talking about should be the frog cub. With a slight smile, Tang Jing Kaido, yes, welcome to visit. Compared with Robin in the animation, she is obviously more beautiful in real life. Although he is still young, he already has some future intelligence. Yielding a seat sideways, Tang Jing said, come in and sit. Then bother you, Robin replied politely, and walked into the cabin. My name is Nico Robin. Are you Senior Frog King? After taking a look at the layout in the hut, Robin turned his attention to Tang Jing again. Hearing this name, Tang Jing's face darkened slightly. Hey, call me Mr. Tang. Tang Jing coughed dryly and said helplessly. As if seeing Tang Jing's helplessness, Robin couldn't help showing a little smile on his face. At the same time, she also feels a lot closer to Tang Jing. I thought it would be a serious old man, but it looks very young. And with a good personality. Robin silently evaluated in his heart. I don't know if it's because of the guests, but there was only one bamboo chair in the game, but now there are two in the hut. Robin sat down on one of the chairs, and Tang Jing sat on the other chair after serving 2 cups of tea. Robin, what are you doing here? The frog cub is not at home now, you can tell me first if you have anything to do. Tang Jing asked. Actually, I don't have anything to do here. I'm just curious. I want to take a look and pay a visit to Mr. Tang. Little Frog mentioned you to me a long time ago, but unfortunately I never had the chance to visit you. By the way, this is a gift I brought you. Robin handed the book in his arms to Tang Jing. For me, Tang Jing was a little surprised. Robin nodded slightly, because I didn't know what to bring, so I chose this book on my own initiative. I hope you won't dislike it. No, Tang Jing said again and again, while reaching out to take the books. Opening the book curiously, Tang Jing's face froze for a moment. This book, he can't read it. Tang Jing almost forgot that he didn't know the characters in the world of One Piece. Closing the book without a trace, Tang Jing praised, it's a good gift, I like it very much. Robin's smile remained the same, but a gloomy glint flashed in the depths of his eyes. Don't you like this book, Mr. Tang? Although Tang Jing concealed it very well, Robin, who has been lonely since he was a child, lacks meticulousness the most. So next time you come, what should you bring? Robin pondered. Seeing that the sky was about to be chatted to death again, Tang Jing thought for a while and said, can you tell me how you and the frog cub met? Tang Jing is really curious about the frog cub's travel experience. How did you meet Little Frog? Robin stretched out one hand to support his head, and there was a bit of nostalgia in his big eyes. That was 2 years ago, before Ohara was destroyed. At that time, because of Devil Fruit's ability, I was disgusted and isolated. No one played with me since I was a child. They all thought I was a monster. Seemingly worried that Tang Jing didn't know what the Devil Fruit ability is, Robin also demonstrated it. A slender arm stretched out from the table and waved at Tang Jing. Seeing that Tang Jing didn't show any disgusted expression, Robin was slightly relieved and continued. That morning, as usual, I went to the beach with my book in my arms, and a huge frog fell from the sky. I was really taken aback at the time. Thinking of the scene at that time, Robin narrowed his eyes with a smile. But after reacting, I'm more curious. Because I have always liked animals, and this is the first time I have seen such a big frog. And most importantly, this frog is wearing a scarf. It was so much fun. I tried to get close to the frog, to make contact with it. As a result, I found that this frog does not seem to be an ordinary animal. It is very smart and can even communicate with me. Communicate. Can frog cubs talk? Listening to Robin's words, Tang Jing was surprised. But thinking about it, it seems normal. How to make friends if you can't speak? Robin continued talking, with a nostalgic smile on his face, and he relaxed a lot. Originally, although she was always smiling and polite, she always gave people a feeling of distance. But now, this distance has disappeared. Including the layer of melancholy and loneliness on Robin, it has dissipated a lot. Frog stayed in Ohara for a month. I share the knowledge in the book with it, as well as the trivialities of life. It's my first friend. It will enlighten me, and even play tricks on other children to help me get revenge. It told me that it doesn't belong to that world. It wants to travel all over the world and all the worlds, and bring back the best travel specialties and souvenirs for its father, Mr. Tang. And I promise it that I will become the greatest archaeologist in the world. Those days were the happiest time of my life. Unfortunately, happy times are always short. Listening to Robin's gradually deepening voice, Tang Jing knew that, without accident, he should have met Buster Call. Sure enough, only to hear Robin continue. That day, as usual, I took a book and went to the coast to find a little frog, but when I arrived, I found that the little frog was chatting with a giant. Mr. Tang, you may not know, but that is really a very tall giant. What happened next was similar to what Tang Jing knew. Robin and Frog Cub became friends with the giant's marine vice admiral. Then within a few days, world government officials went to Ohara, and after some investigation, launched Buster Call. The only difference is that during the subsequent escape, Robin and the others encountered double interceptions from Akainu and Aokiji. The Frog Cub was even casually injured by Akainu. If it hadn't been discovered that Ohara's refuge ship had left, Akainu went to deal with it and handed Robin and the others to Aokiji. I'm afraid things could get worse. Only then did Tang Jing understand why the Frog Cubs are so obsessed with Akainu. It is estimated that after the second strengthening, the Frog Cub was sure that his strength could take down Akainu, so he hurried out. At the same time, Tang Jing also realized how dangerous it was to let the Frog Cub go out without strengthening it the previous 2 times. It seems that in the future, if there is a chance, I will strengthen it more. I can't always let others bully me. Tang Jing thought to herself. Anyway, he is his own cub, and he knows to bring back the best travel specialties and souvenirs. Well, not bad, not bad. Sol Vice Admiral was frozen, but that Marine named Aokiji let us go. It's just that the little frog was injured, and it said it was going home to heal. It also said that it will definitely come back for revenge, and its father will give it the power to take revenge. 2 years in a blink of an eye, I thought something happened to it. I didn't expect to see its wanted notice and news about it a few days ago. To be honest, I'm very happy. It just so happened that I had the opportunity to visit you today, so I came over. Sorry, I said a bit too much, and I wasted your time. Robin then apologized. This made Tang Jing feel distressed. Some people may think that this is polite. But at this time Robin was just a teenager. This is how cautious you have to live to be so cautious. And looking at Robin like that, I'm afraid it's been a long time since we had such a hearty chat, that's why we couldn't stop talking. Fine. Tang Jing shook his head and said gently, here, you don't have to be so careful. Robin stiffened, then relaxed again. Looking up, she showed a bright smile. Good. After Robin's narration just now, the two of them also became a little familiar and began to extend the topic. For example, how has Robin been in the past 2 years? It's okay, it's okay. Robin squirmed. Is it okay? It's probably not very good. After all, at such a young age, and carrying such a high bounty. Tang Jing directly exposed Robin's lies. I will work hard. Robin lowered his head, not knowing what to say. Although the person in front of him looks young, it seems that he has nothing to hide from him. Looking at Robin like this, Tang Jing sighed. Well, it's rare to come here, and I'll give you a little gift. Treat visiting friends with special products, an interactive feature of Travel Frog. After the reception, the friends will return the gift when they leave. Although you can use the travel specialties brought back by the Frog Cubs to entertain visiting friends and get gifts in return. But Tang Jing doesn't have any good specialties at this time, which can be used for entertaining. Apart from a small prop from the world of Detective Conan, all that remains is the god tree sapling from the world of Hokage. And these two are obviously not suitable for entertaining Robin. The former is useless, and the latter is too much. But Tang Jing had already considered these, and after consulting the game, he already had a new approach. Because the game has changed these days, memorabilia can also be used directly. Therefore, souvenirs can also be used to entertain guests. After learning about this, Tang Jing had an idea. That's why I said those words. Gotta give Robin a little present. In the travel home, the game cannot be opened, but the warehouse is still available. Tang Jing opened the warehouse and chose 2 souvenirs to pick up. Because of the permanent nature of the souvenir, it will not disappear after extraction. Tang Jing felt that he seemed to have found a better way to entertain guests than travel specialties. Stretching out his hand, 2 thick books were condensed in Tang Jing's palm. You take these 2 books, they should help you. Tang Jing smiled mysteriously. I saw the 2 books, one is Book of Hockey, the other is Book of Shinigami. Compared with flower fruit, which is not easy to produce lethality, these 2 kinds of power are obviously more direct to the improvement of strength. Robin was very happy to see these 2 books, especially the thick Book of Shinigami. Thank you, Mr. Tang. After getting up to thank, Robin took the 2 books. He opened the book and looked at it twice, and the countless knowledge information directly turned into a little halo, floating into Robin's eyebrows. This is. Robin was surprised to find that the huge amount of knowledge in the books in his hands was already in his mind. Amazing. Robin couldn't help but exclaim. This is also the process that people other than Tang Jing need to go through if they want to obtain the knowledge and abilities recorded in the souvenir. Robin tried to open another book. After a while, the same spot of light entered between her eyebrows. After closing his eyes and understanding the content of the 2 books, Robin's face was filled with shock and admiration. Mr. Tang, your gift is too precious. Robin could feel that there were 2 forces that had sprouted in his body. As long as you master them well, she will no longer be bullied in the sea. It's nothing expensive or not, as long as you like it. Tang Jing said with a smile. At the same time, I also have some expectations in my heart. I don't know what will happen to Robin who has learned these things when he goes back. Her original trajectory should change, right? Although the 2 books have become blank because the knowledge has entered his mind, Robin still keeps them by his side seriously. She must keep this gift well. After chatting for a while, Robin got up and said goodbye to Tang Jing reluctantly. Mr. Tang, then I'll go first. Well, okay, come play again next time. Tang Jing sent Robin to the door. After Robin walked out, Tang Jing also walked out of the hut. Standing at the door of the house, he wanted to see where and how Robin was going to leave. In the courtyard, there are various tall plants around the cottage. There is another piece of land not far from the door, which is the place where clover is planted and harvested. There is also a pond next to it. And beside the pond, there is a small path leading directly to the door of the house. Robin left down the path. A little beyond the pond, at the end of the path, is a uzumaki of colorful Madara. It is somewhat similar to the passage Tang Jing used to enter the secret realm. Robin stood in front of Uzumaki, turned around, waved to Tang Jing again, and left. After Robin entered Uzumaki, a deep feeling rose from her heart. She can choose one of the things she owns as a gift to Tang Jing. Open black lens bracket flower fruit close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket archaeological knowledge close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket animal affinity close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket game skills close black lens bracket. Many abilities and items flashed through Robin's mind. It even includes the knowledge of Book of Hockey and Book of Shinigami just obtained. Return the gift. Looking at the 2 thick books in his hand, Robin smiled. It is indeed a gift that should be returned. After hesitating for a while, Robin made his choice. Open black lens bracket flower fruit close black lens bracket. With the 2 abilities given by Tang Jing, she is enough to protect herself. Ditching the flower fruit as a gift in return seems like a good idea. After all, this is also the most valuable of all her abilities. However, after making a choice, Robin was surprised to find that his flower fruit ability had not disappeared. A very nice gentleman. Robin raised his hand, and a string of arms emerged from it. A sincere smile appeared on her face. Ding, I received a gift from my friend Nico. Robin. At the door of Travel House, Tang Jing was about to stroll around the yard when he heard a prompt. At the same time, a mailbox at the door of the hut also made a sound. Tang Jing walked over and opened the mailbox. I saw a devil fruit lying inside. There is also a small cartoon head of Robin on the top of the fruit. Is this flower fruit? Tang Jing took out the fruit and looked at it curiously. An information bar appears. Flower fruit. Paramecia devil fruit is a special product in the world of One Piece. After eating, any part of the body can grow on any tangible thing like a flower, and make attacks or other uses. After training, you can also achieve the effect of Avatar. Fruit weakness has been eliminated. Tang Jing did not expect that Robin's return gift would be this. Although flower fruit is definitely not as valuable as Book of Haki plus Book of Shinigami. But Tang Jing didn't think too much about what could be gained in return. Robin was so young after all. More than just trying to help. Anyway, the souvenirs can be picked up repeatedly, so he didn't lose anything. It's just that I didn't expect that the little girl's gift in return was a bit unexpectedly generous. This can be regarded as the most valuable thing in Robin at present. I've already eaten one devil fruit, can I have another one? Tang Jing asked. Yes, because the weakness of the fruit has been eliminated, there will be no special impact. A beep sounds. Hearing this, Tang Jing was a little moved. But after hesitating for a while, he finally didn't eat it. At present, he has several abilities, and flower fruit is not too strong, and it takes time to develop, which is rather useless. It's better to improve the abilities you have first. So Tang Jing decided to put it aside and talk about it later. Put it up for me first. After Tang Jing finished speaking, the flower fruit in his hand turned into a spot of light and disappeared. As for the specialty category in the inventory, there was an extra fruit. Because of its characteristics, flower fruit is classified as a special product. After putting the flower fruit away, Tang Jing walked around the courtyard. Not to mention, this courtyard is really idyllic. The clover in the ground grew at a speed visible to the naked eye, and Tang Jing tried to pull one out. It seems that because it hasn't grown yet, the balance of his clover has not increased. Whispering sound. Curling her lips, Tang Jing returned to the hut of the traveling house. Just because Robin was waiting outside the door, Tang Jing didn't have time to take a closer look at the room. After taking another look, Tang Jing turned his attention to the attic. There is the place where the frog cubs live. Tang Jing walked up curiously. The arrangement above is very simple, a bed, a low table, and a futon instead of a stool. In addition, add some porcelain bottles, boxes and other objects. Tang Jing noticed that there was a booklet on the table and a pen beside it. Could this be the travel diary of a frog cub? Tang Jing showed some interest. Opening the booklet, a bunch of hieroglyphs came into Tang Jing's sight. This made his face turn black. Nima, I don't understand. Can you translate it? Tang Jing said helplessly. Sorry, translation privacy is not supported. A beep sounds. Quote. Tang Jing was speechless and could only try to read by himself. After looking through it carefully, let alone, he really understood a little bit. The little frog pictured above, needless to say, must be the frog cub himself. On one page there was a picture of a girl with multiple arms, which was supposed to be Robin. And a girl with all white eyes. Apparently, it's from Hyuga's. Tang Jing even saw himself. It's just that Tang Jing is also a frog in the writing of frog cub, but with a crown on his head. Tang Jing checked it several times before he was sure that this was him. No wonder my reward is Frog King. Quote. If you have a chance, you must teach this brat how to make me look more handsome. While complaining, Tang Jing continued to watch. Turning to the last page of the picture and text, Tang Jing was dumbfounded. It was a picture of a frog representing a baby frog, imagining it. In the picture, the pattern representing Tang Jing was placed by the frog cubs with Robin and the little girl from Hyuga's family. Even Robin and Hyuga's little girl's head was painted with a small crown. The kind worn by the queen. ? Tang Jing was full of question marks. What does this mean? Want him to be with Robin and the others. Robin sees you as a friend and you want her to be your mother. Please like and subscribe. Travel Frog. Start with a sparkling fruit. Chapter 71. After closing the diary, Tang Jing didn't know what to say. Although there seems to be nothing wrong with the frog cub's idea. But Robin and they're all so young. Tang Jing suddenly realized that because of the flow rate of time in different worlds, it seems that temporarily being young is not a problem. After all, the frog cubs haven't been there for a few days, and it's been 2 years since the world of One Piece. Ahem, what are you thinking? Shaking his head, Tang Jing put the diary back on the table. After looking around in the house again and finding nothing new, the bored Tang Jing chose to leave the travel home. After silently saying, "Leave the traveling home," Tang Jing's consciousness returned to his body in an instant. Opening his eyes, Charmander obediently lay beside him, acting as a guard. Patting Charmander on the head lightly, Tang Jing took out his phone and glanced at the time. It has been more than 2 hours since he entered the traveling home. In fact, he definitely spent 5 or 6 hours in the traveling home. Is time flowing faster than the outside world? Tang Jing silently wrote it down in his heart. In the travel home before, Tang Jing didn't feel hungry, possibly because of his mental body. But now that his consciousness has returned, he feels very hungry soon. After all, I fought the exchange battle all morning, then went to the cemetery, participated in the conference, and entered the travel home for so long, I haven't eaten anything. Put Charmander back into the Pokemon ball, Tang Jing went out to the cafeteria. Because of the exchange battle in the morning, no matter the freshmen or old students of Function Academy, they completely remembered Tang Jing's face and praised him very much. As a result, Tang Jing was contacted by more than a dozen seniors and freshmen during a meal. After dinner, the time has come to the evening. For the first time, Tang Jing didn't go back to practice, but walked around the academy with the afterglow of the setting sun. I have to say that Function Academy is really big. Various buildings are located in it. There are lakes, fruit forests, hills and other natural landscapes in the college. Many strange beasts raised by college teachers and some elite students were placed in these places. So Tang Jing released Charmander as well. Take a walk, take a walk. Although this is a fake dragon without dragon attributes. During the wandering, Tang Jing also received a message from the logistics department. Because he performed well in the exchange battle and turned the tide, the academy decided to reward him with 20,000 credits. 20,000 credits, converted into money, is 200 million. Comfortable. Tang Jing felt very comfortable. I have been practicing intensely, and it seems good to relax like this once in a while. The whole person's body and mind feel much more relaxed. Of course, it's okay to relax once in a while, but not often. After all, this world is still relatively dangerous. Tang Jing didn't forget that he was attacked by a cult organization at night when he just woke up during the day. Back at the villa, Tang Jing took a shower and went to bed early. In his sleep, he vaguely heard a reminder. Frog cubs are back. Frog cub brought back special travel products, please pay attention to check. I thought it was an auditory hallucination in a dream. The next morning, after Tang Jing woke up, he clicked into the game and took a look. It turned out that the frog cubs really came back. Tang Jing, who was still a little dazed at first, immediately became sober. After pointing out the redundant hints, Tang Jing focused on the special travel products. I saw that icon, which is somewhat similar to the special product that the baby frog brought back from the world of One Piece, for the first time, and it looks like a fruit. Devil fruit. Tang Jing frowned slightly. For him today, ordinary fruits mean little. Click on the icon and a message will appear. Open black lens bracket shock fruit, close black lens bracket. Paramecia devil fruit, a world specialty from One Piece. Eaters can cause the sky, the earth, the atmosphere and the ocean to vibrate at will, and can cause strong earthquakes and tsunamis. It has extremely strong physical destructive power, and is called the power to destroy the world. Known as the strongest paramecia fruit. Fruit weakness has been eliminated. Looking at the introduction in the information column, Tang Jing felt that devil fruit seemed pretty good too. After all, shock fruit is still very fragrant. Without much hesitation, Tang Jing directly extracted the shock fruit. Compared with flower fruit, the destructive power of shock fruit is obviously stronger by more than one grade. Even if the development takes time, the cost performance is very high. Worth investing in. Opening his mouth wide, Tang Jing bit on the shock fruit. The familiar taste diffuses in the mouth. This time Tang Jing didn't finish eating the fruit, and put it down after taking a bite. Slightly closing his eyes, he could feel a strange force pouring into his body. Stretch out your hand and hold it gently, you can clearly see that there are cracks in the void. That's the atmosphere being shattered. Shock fruit does not have the ability of the space system, but it can shatter the space by vibrating the atmosphere. However, it feels so difficult to shatter the space. Tang Jing was a little puzzled. He felt that the consumption just now was not low. Is it because the space in this world is relatively solid? Tang Jing remembers that in the world of One Piece, that guy Blackbeard just got the power of shock fruit. He can shake the atmosphere on a large scale and even cause a tsunami. But if he wants to do that, it doesn't seem so easy. And the most important thing is that when you use the ability of shock fruit, your body will also receive certain feedback and bear certain pressure. However, even so, it still cannot conceal the power of shock fruit. This is the power that can easily destroy a city with a little development. Tang Jing showed a satisfied smile. Re-entering the game, Tang Jing bought a bento for the frog cub. Because there were not many clover in the account, and I was too lazy to recharge, so I simply bought a 300 clover lunch. The effect seems to be to make the mood more pleasant. Tang Jing didn't look closely either. After packing his backpack, he glanced at the frog cub. This time, the frog cub did not write a diary, but read a book. It seems to be the book that Robin sent. Only then did Tang Jing remember that when he left the traveling home, he forgot to bring that book out. I wanted to ask if I could take it out, but Tang Jing didn't say anything more, seeing the frog cub's interest in watching it. Forget it, wait until next time to take it. After exiting the game, Tang Jing got up and took a shower. Then he went to the cafeteria to have breakfast and packed some food back. Tang Jing, who has no shortage of credits, will naturally not treat herself badly, and buys food made with secret ingredients. Even packed some for Charmander. After returning to the villa, Tang Jing entered the underground training room and began to summarize yesterday's exchange battle. In the exchange battle, Tang Jing didn't take many shots. 6 feet, 1 punch, that's all. But among them, it is not without gains. In individual battles, the opponent's abilities and reactions will be captured by Tang Jing with observation hockey. This allowed him to see some ability usage skills that he hadn't thought of before. Maybe he can't use it directly, but by analogy, it is always a kind of accumulation. Especially the girl who controls the thunder element at the end. If it wasn't for Tang Jing's use of the observation hockey layout to kick 2 consecutive kicks at the speed of light, I'm afraid it would have been worth fighting. After all, he still hasn't made a breakthrough after all, and his advantage in realm is still there. And the team battle after the individual battle brought Tang Jing even more things. Whether it was personally touching and defeating the complete power of law, or using a serious punch for the first time, it gave Tang Jing a lot of new experiences. Especially a serious punch. With that punch, Tang Jing felt that he was completely useless. It's hard to imagine how that guy Saitama could have no influence. It can only be said that he deserves to be the great demon king. After summarizing these, the time has come to the afternoon. Tang Jing ate something and redeemed 10,000 credits of resources from the college's internet. Zhou Meiyu didn't break her promise and gave Tang Jing a 10% discount. Saved 1,000 credits. After the exchange is completed, Tang Jing still has 33,900 credits. The food was delivered quickly, and after Tang Jing was full, he started his practice. This time, he will awaken the sparkling fruit. After the punch in the exchange battle, Tang Jing had vaguely sensed the awakening opportunity of sparkling fruit. And this practice lasts for 1 week. In the middle, Tang Jing didn't even care about the cafeteria, and asked little Charmander to pack all the food for him. I didn't go to the big class once a week. However, Shen Tianlin has already said that Tang Jing's cultivation speed is far faster than others, so there is no need to waste time for those. He gave Tang Jing the highest degree of freedom, allowing Tang Jing to arrange his own time at will. If there is anything you don't understand, you can directly ask him or other teachers in the college. It is also under such investment and hard work. A week later, Tang Jing's villa was lit up with a bright light. Sparkling fruit, successfully awakened. The underground training room. The bright pale golden light shone in all directions, and Tang Jing directly became a light person. But at this moment, his state is different from that elementalization. Reaching out to pick up a piece of yuanjing, Tang Jing thought, and the yuanjing directly turned into light particles in his hand. After successfully awakening, he has the ability to assimilate other substances into light elements. And because Tang Jing has absorbed the law of broken light before, this ability of Tang Jing is stronger than the general assimilation. He is more like active aggression. Besides, light moves faster. The effect of elementalization is stronger. The attack strength of the sparkling fruit ability itself has also been increased. It can be said that this wave of awakening has greatly increased Tang Jing's overall strength. To some extent, he has already stepped into the control level. But for himself, it's not completely stepping in. Because of his strength ability and the newly harvested shock fruit, he has not yet broken through. He still has room to transform. But Tang Jing could feel that a breakthrough in the power system ability should not be far away. This also has a certain relationship with the improvement of its own comprehensive attributes after the awakening of sparkling fruit. But shock fruit, because I just got it not long ago, and I haven't bothered to study it these days, it may take a while. Call. Tang Jing moved her body, and the light on her body was gradually absorbed into her body. It's really not easy. This wave of awakening seems to have taken a short time, only a week. But the resources are burned a lot. The resources of 9,000 credits exchanged by Tang Jing have all been exhausted. Fortunately, in addition to the awakening of sparkling fruit, other abilities have also been greatly improved. Stretching. Tang Jing opened the game. In the past few days, he was only focused on cultivating, and he didn't pay attention to the frog cubs. I just remember that this time the frog cubs seemed to have been resting at home for a long time, and they only heard the reminder to go out 2 days ago. Entering the game, a prompt pops up. Sure enough, the frog cub had gone out. It's just that no photos have been sent back yet, so I don't know which world it is in yet. After Tang Jing harvested a wave of clover, he quit the game. Leaving the underground practice room, Tang Jing went to the living room to get some air. In the next few days, Tang Jing did not practice deeply. Instead, it mainly focuses on mastering the awakened sparkling fruit ability, supplemented by training the strength department ability, and develops shock fruit from time to time. During the period, his villa also welcomed a guest. Zhao Heng. Zhao Heng is here to fulfill his promise. In Tang Jing's first class when he entered the school, Zhao Heng said that if he performed well in the communication battle, he would be given a big gift. Now, he brought this great gift over. It was a spar the size of a palm. Zhao Heng called it holy quartz. Different from Yuan Jing, this spar contains extremely strong power of holy light. According to Zhao Heng, it was in the body of a birdman specimen above the control level in his research institute. But now, give it to Tang Jing. Tang Jing was actually more interested in the birdman specimen. It's a pity that Zhao Heng didn't give him a chance. Tang Jing tried to research and found that the Saint Quartz contains a strong light attribute power, but it is not pure light attribute. There is also a special and weak divine law in it. The two merged in a peculiar way to form the so-called holy light. Zhao Heng handed this to Tang Jing, also wanting him to try to see if he can master this power. After all, compared with pure light attribute, holy light is more lethal, especially in some special occasions. If you can master it, it is also a good method. Thus, one more task was added to Tang Jing's daily practice task. Another 2 days passed. At noon that day, Tang Jing suddenly received a message from Bai Zhansheng. He is going to enter the wild secret realm. Not only him, but also several freshmen who participated in the exchange battle before, are about to enter the wild secret realm. Of course, they also participated in the mopping up mission, and they still started from small secret realms with relatively low danger, or even miniature secret realms. But it's also amazing. After all, even in Function Academy, it used to take 3 months for new students to be allowed to enter the wild secret realm. Looking at the message on the phone screen, Tang Jing touched his chin. Should I go to the secret realm to practice again? After all, if you practice at home every day, you just sit and eat. How can there be a secret realm that can accumulate combat experience and earn money? However, before Tang Jing could find a suitable target, a phone call came. Hello, still remember me? A playful female voice came from the phone's microphone. Tang Jing didn't have to think about it at all. The figure of a woman with strong capital immediately appeared in his mind. Hi, Senior, Tang Jing said with a smile. The person on the other end of the phone was Zhou Baiyu, who had guided Tang Jing to Function Academy. I heard that you have been very popular recently. Even an old senior like me who has graduated has heard about your deeds. Zhou Baiyu joked. Where there is nothing, luck is better. Tang Jing said modestly. By the way, sister, what's the matter with you calling? Tang Jing didn't think that Zhou Baiyu would call her for no reason. Zhou Baiyu didn't hide it either, and responded directly, well, there's something wrong. Remember what I said, when your freshman period is over, I will take you to do some big things. The opportunity is here. I'm currently tracking down a group of cult members, and I have basically identified their dens. But the leader among them is very fast, and I can't catch up. I heard that your awakening ability is a light element, and your speed is good. How about it? Did you break through to the control level? If you break through, you can consider making a vote with senior sister. Listening to the somewhat charming ending in the microphone, Tang Jing coughed dryly twice. Ahem, senior sister, is there any benefit in going? I've been practicing in the academy all day, and I'm almost dying of poverty. Zhou Baiyu smiled. It seems that you must have made a breakthrough. After a pause, she continued. Don't worry, your benefits are indispensable. This is the case during the freshman year of the college, and it will be fine when you start to go out to perform tasks. Besides, I'm here to give you a favor. Basically, the income of this kind of cult stronghold will not be bad, because there must be more valuable people and intelligence materials inside. There are rewards for handing over these things to the authorities. And, it's very rich. Hearing Zhou Baiyu's words, Tang Jing's heart was moved. Besides, the points have already been stepped on, and it shouldn't take a lot of time to help search the house and block people in the past. At that time, we can also see if there is a secret realm that can be entered. Think of it as a free fortune. Thinking of this, Tang Jing didn't hesitate any longer, and said directly, Good senior sister, where shall we meet? At 6 o'clock in the evening, let's go to Ningjing City. I happen to pass by there and pick you up by the way. Good. After agreeing on the time and place to meet, Zhou Baiyu quickly hung up the phone. Tang Jing looked at the time. It was already past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There are still 2 more hours. Looks like it's time to pack up. Tang Jing glanced inside the room. Charmander must be brought. There are also a change of clothes, compressed food, etc., which also need to be brought. Anyway, there is a storage ring. In addition, Tang Jing exchanged 2,000 yuan crystals on the college's internet. This is for charging the game. Tang Jing has now broken through and can strengthen the frog cub again. But because the frog cub is not at home right now, he plans to recharge the clover first. After all, he doesn't know how long he will be out this time. At that time, when the frog cub comes back, it will be strengthened directly. 2,000 yuan crystals, that is, 6,000 credits. After the discount, 5,004. Tang Jing has 28,500 credits left. And as long as Yuan Jing is delivered, his clover will reach 200,000. Just when Tang Jing had just placed an order and was about to continue packing, a reminder sounded in my mind. Ding, Frog Cub sent back travel photos, please check carefully. Ha, the movement of Tang Jing's hand stopped for a moment. This Frog Cub has been out for a few days, and he only sent a photo back now. I don't know if I went to that world again. Tang Jing entered the game curiously. Soon, a photo pops up. In the photo, the Frog Cub was exchanging swords with a boy with long silver white hair. There is also a pair of white animal ears on the boy's head. Isn't this Inuyasha? Tang Jing froze for a moment. Unexpectedly, the baby frog went there this time, and got mixed up with Inuyasha. In the world of Inuyasha, the Jade of the Four Souls seems to be pretty good. Tisk, it's a pity that it's too long ago, and I don't quite remember the ability. Tang Jing patted his head. But he didn't pay much attention to it. Anyway, he would know about the travel specialties when the Frog Cub came back. Get things done quickly. After a while, Yuanjing was also sent over. Tang Jing filled all the Yuanjing into the game. Look at the time and it's past 4 o'clock. Without further delay, he hurriedly left. Get out of the villa. Tang Jing clearly felt that since the end of the last exchange battle, the academy has become more deserted. Because everyone started to practice harder. Enrollment will be expanded next year, and the freshmen don't want to perform too badly in front of the future juniors. In addition, Tang Jing, the first freshman, will be the benchmark. So they worked hard. The old students do not want to be overtaken by these new students. They are all working hard to practice. Before leaving, Tang Jing did not forget to send Shen Tianlin a message to report. But Shen Tianlin's reply came a little fast. Tang Jing received it before leaving school. There is only one sentence on it. Pay attention to safety, please feel free to contact me. Tang Jing's heart warmed. Putting away his mobile phone, he stepped into the school gate and walked towards the exit of the school's secret realm. Walking out of the secret place, Tang Jing took a taxi and headed to the city center. Anyway, there is still time now, and he is not in a hurry. Just take a look at this Ningjing city by car. It has been more than a month since I came to Feng Theological Seminary, and Tang Jing hasn't walked here seriously yet. Arrive in the city center by car. Tang Jing got off the car on the way and bought some snacks to eat. When we arrived at our destination, it was just around 5:40. Tang Jing paid to get out of the car, and was about to eat and wait here with snacks, but unexpectedly, a black off-road vehicle stopped directly beside it. You are very moist these days. The car window rolled down. It was Zhou Baiyu. Tang Jing laughed, opened the door and got in the car. Since there were two girls in the back seat, Tang Jing sat directly in the co-pilot. Although awakened people above the control level basically have faster speeds than cars, most people still choose to drive unless they encounter an emergency. After all, driving is easier than running. It can also better maintain the state in case of a sudden crisis. After Tang Jing got in the car, Zhou Baiyu also started introducing people. This is the junior I told you about, Tang Jing. Tang Jing, these two are my teammates, Songqi and Wu Ting. They are also members of the Underworld Department. After a few people got to know each other, Zhou Baiyu also started to talk about this mission. The target cult organization this time is not the God organization that Tang Jing knew, but another organization called Wisdom Sect. Unlike the God organization, the Wisdom Sect mainly absorbs ordinary people and awakened people with low talents. It sounds like they're nothing to worry about. But in fact, the Wisdom Sect is more difficult to deal with than the God organization. Because the core of Wisdom Sect is wisdom. They are a very research-oriented organization. Their core teaching is, knowledge changes destiny. They often conduct a lot of special research that is prohibited by the state. And these studies have also brought them a lot of results. Some ordinary people, with the help of their research results, even have a powerful power that is not weaker than the awakened ones. Tang Jing frowned slightly. Is the side effect serious? If there are no side effects, the country will make it by itself. Zhou Baiyu nodded. It's actually a kind of biological technology, grafting the power of those ferocious beasts onto humans. The side effect is that it will directly transform into a humanoid monster. Even losing my sanity as a human being. Tang Jing was puzzled. What's the point of that? Zhou Baiyu shook his head. You don't understand some ordinary people's desire for power. Moreover, this kind of experiment is only the lowest level. Not only that, but because of their humble origins, most of the Wisdom Sect members are more vigilant and more careful in their actions. So their threat level is actually higher than that of the God organization. Today's stronghold was locked by me and my team after more than half a month of tracking and investigation. We also found a senior member of the Wisdom Sect who is wanted by the government, and it's also here. I called you over this time to stop him and prevent this believer from escaping. According to the information, his original innate ability is only controlled by the wind element with E-level awakening. However, under the repeated transformation of the Wisdom Sect, he successfully broke through the control level and became the existence of the second level of the control level. It even has a certain wind elemental ability. So, we need you to stop him. You don't need to take a big risk to fight head-to-head with him. You only need to entangle him a little, and I can take him down. The income at that time will be divided according to the amount of effort. The guarantee will give you at least 50 million yuan, how about it? Good. Tang Jing nodded. Hearing Zhou Baiyu's narration and introduction, he also had a general understanding of this mission. For the rest of the time, Tang Jing wrote down the task information and occasionally asked for details. The destination of the mission is the city next door to Ningjing City. However, because Ningjing City is already on the edge of Jiangsu province, this next door city, more precisely, is still in the next door province. Zhou Baiyu drove fast all the way. I don't know if the cars of the special department are different. Anyway, Tang Jing feels that Zhou Baiyu's speed seems to be much faster than other cars. In just over 2 hours, we successfully arrived near our destination. Zhou Baiyu threw the car in the county seat, and then took Tang Jing and her 2 teammates to the outskirts of the county seat on foot. The stronghold of Wisdom Sect is in a small village outside the county seat. Because several of them are awakeners above the control level, the speed is not slow. A few minutes later, Tang Jing and others came to a small mountain village 2 miles away. Zhou Baiyu took out the communicator and tapped it lightly a few times. After a while, a tall, thin young man, like a lizard, climbed down from a nearby tree. Team leader. The man greeted Zhou Baiyu. Zhou Baiyu nodded lightly. How is the situation? Has anyone left? Is that senior believer still there? I didn't see that senior believer leave, not even the entire stronghold left. On the contrary, some people brought some equipment here. I suspect that they may be doing some experiments. The man said seriously. Since this is the case, then don't wait, just attack directly. Zhou Baiyu made a decisive decision immediately. Tang Jing hesitated. Strong attack. The people in the village. Leave it to me to solve it. Wu Ting, one of the 2 girls who had been sitting in the back seat and didn't talk much, said. This is also one of the headaches of Wisdom Sect. They often mix among ordinary people and use ordinary people to cover them, which is very difficult to catch in many cases. After all, it is too easy for ordinary people to get involved in the battle of the awakened. But since Wu Ting said so, and Zhou Baiyu didn't object. Obviously, they were also well prepared. Tang Jing didn't say any more, and silently carried out the order, and cooperated to intercept that senior believer at any time. A few people followed the man who came down from the tree and walked towards the small mountain village. Tang Jing could feel an inexplicable force gushing out from this man, enveloping himself and the others. My ability is mimicry, which can simulate the surrounding environment and cover our tracks. Seeing that Tang Jing seemed a little puzzled, the man explained in a low voice. There was a look of understanding on Tang Jing's face, and he couldn't help admiring in his heart. The talent and ability are really amazing. And this kind of special ability is rare in Function Academy. There are more of them, which are still purely fighting. Several people came all the way to the entrance of the small mountain village, but they were not noticed. Then, Wu Ting stretched out his hand, and a gray mist rushed towards the village like a wave. Everyone who was touched by the gray mist involuntarily yawned, and then found a nearby place to lie down and sleep. I couldn't find it, and even fell asleep standing up against the wall. Tang Jing was shocked. This made him secretly raise his vigilance in his heart. Be more careful in the future. After all, some of the abilities of the awakened are really weird. The villagers fell asleep one by one, and Tang Jing and the others were shrouded in mimicry ability, completely driving straight in. But gray mist is not a panacea. Facing the awakened ones, its effect will be much worse. The higher the strength of the awakened, the stronger the resistance. And at this time, another girl named Song Chi made a move. She stretched out her hand like a pistol, and every time she raised her hand, an awakened person would fall down. This is an air bomb. Tang Jing could feel that every time Song Chi raised her hand, a cloud of air would be compressed at her fingertips and then fly out suddenly. These 3 awakened, placed in Function Academy, their combat effectiveness can only be said to be average, not even as good as some SSS ranks. But in this kind of place, the cooperation of the 3 of them allowed them to easily solve the trouble and complete the task. Tang Jing even felt that he was a little soy-sauced. Soon, the group of them came to the center of the village. There are several buildings here, although it looks like it is not much different from other houses. But Tang Jing's observation hockey could clearly hear the heavy breathing like a beast coming from inside the building. Someone is hiding in the building, Tang Jing said in a low voice. Zhou Baiyu turned to look at Wu Ting. Wu Ting nodded, then shook his head again. There are people, but her ability has no effect on the guys inside. Zhou Baiyu turned her head and looked at the building again, a wanton smile curled up on her lips. If you can't come out, then don't come out. When she pressed her hand, the buildings in front of her instantly collapsed and sank. Tang Jing's eyes froze. This is gravity. Roar. As the building collapsed, several tall figures broke through the thick concrete wall and rushed out of the ruins. It was only when they rushed out that Tang Jing realized that these were not human beings at all. Instead, it has a certain human form, a fierce beast. Although the body shape is similar to that of a human being, some of them have scales and some have long hairs. There are also some strange beast-like features. This may be what Zhou Baiyu said, the biological experiment of the wisdom sect. Tang Jing can perceive that the strength of these experimental products is also uneven. Some are worthy of D level, and some reach SSS level. Zhou Baiyu raised his hand again, and the heavier weight directly pressed it down. In an instant, more than 20 humanoid beasts comparable to those awakened by the power system were directly crushed into puddles of blood. Call. Zhou Baiyu heaved a sigh of relief. At this moment, an experimental product that was slightly smaller in size but with a stronger aura jumped up from the edge of the ruins. Like a black lightning bolt, it rushed towards Zhou Baiyu. Wu Ting and Song Qi's expressions changed suddenly. This is an experimental product that has reached the control level. Only at this level can there be reason and wisdom remaining, and the moment everyone just relaxes, they can seize the opportunity and launch an attack. Just when Song Qi raised his hand to condense the air bomb, Zhou Baiyu adjusted the gravity around him solemnly and prepared to dodge. A laser shot out from the side. Silently, the laser pierced through the head of the experimental subject in an instant and detonated it. Thump. The headless corpse that controlled the experimental objects fell to the ground. Zhou Baiyu glanced at Tang Jing in surprise. The laser beam just now made her feel a little threatened. Facing the surprised gazes from several people, Tang Jing said helplessly, "Don't look at me like that, I have a penny too, so I can't just do nothing." How embarrassing that is. When several people heard this, they couldn't help laughing. "Let's go and get that dirty mouse out." Zhou Baiyu walked forward. Several people followed. At this time, because of the collapse of the building and the removal of the cement wall when the experimental products rushed out, a corner of a huge underground laboratory was exposed. Tang Jing followed Zhou Baiyu and the others into the laboratory while using observation hockey to pay attention to the surrounding situation. Compared with the dilapidated village outside, this laboratory is simply another world. Brand new and bright. It would be better if there were no various experimental specimens soaked in glass jars. Tang Jing and others walked along the corridor of the laboratory. On both sides of the corridor, there are various equipment rooms and specimen rooms. There are all kinds of things inside. There are animal organs, plant specimens, beast bones, and human corpses. Men, women, old and young, it's all here. There are even babies that are still being conceived. Looking at these, Tang Jing's eyes gradually turned cold. Finally, the corridor came to an end. A research room appeared in front of several people. The side of the research room facing the corridor is a glass wall. Tang Jing and the others can directly see the scene inside. I saw an operating table on the glass wall of the research room. A little girl was lying on the operating table. The girl is about 10 years old, thin and small. The whole body fully interprets what is really skinny. A few hanging bottles were tied to her body to deliver a little nutrition for her. But there is also a device in the shape of a crown, which is clasped tightly on her head. The girl frowned tightly, with a painful expression on her face, but she couldn't wake up. Her hands and feet were tied to the operating table. "Welcome to my lab." The door of the research room opened, and a middle-aged man in his 30s appeared in front of several people. The man was wearing a white coat, with eyes, tall and thin. He looks like a very skilled doctor. But unfortunately, this is a demon in human skin. However, Tang Jing noticed that behind the man, in the depths of the research room, there was an energy Uzumaki who was half a person tall. Uzumaki is colored, and there are some special waves coming out. That feeling is the same as the wild secret land that Tang Jing has been to before. How can it be? Tang Jing's eyes widened. How can it be? Hearing Tang Jing's exclamation, Zhou Baiyu and the others cast puzzled looks at him. Because of the angle, they didn't see that Uzumaki. In that research room, there is a secret passageway being formed. Tang Jing said solemnly. How come? Zhou Baiyu and the others were also shocked. Because now is no longer what it used to be. As more and more secret realms appear, human beings' understanding of them is also increasing. More than 40 years ago, an early warning system for the secret realm was developed. As long as a secret realm appears and a passage to the secret realm is formed, this system will find out and give an early warning. With continuous updates over the years, this early warning system has become more and more advanced. Basically, except for some miniature secrets, most of the secret realms that descend will be detected. Zhou Baiyu put his head next to Tang Jing, glanced at his angle, and was even more shocked. Based on Zhou Baiyu's familiarity with the secret realm, he can tell at a glance that this passage is indeed in the process of taking shape and has not yet been fully formed. But according to the energy fluctuations shown, the connection behind the passage is at least a small secret realm. In other words, a small secret realm is about to descend here. And the most serious thing is that she didn't receive any warning message before. The middle-aged man in a white coat smiled as he watched the faces of several people gradually become serious. It seems that you found out. Yes, that is indeed a secret passage. The man confirmed the conjectures of Tang Jing et al. Then he showed a playful smile. Are you confused? It's obviously a wild secret realm that just arrived. Why didn't you receive an early warning? Speaking of which, thanks to that child. The man looked at the girl lying on the operating table in the research room. Those eyes seemed to be looking at his most satisfactory result. 12 years ago, in order to prove some ideas, I captured 100 newly pregnant women, and found an opportunity to send them into a newly opened wild secret realm. As we all know, the secret realm that has just been opened, because it has just come into contact with this world, the laws of the two worlds collide, so there will be some very special power spreading. The rampage of the alien beasts in the secret realm is also caused by this. And the gestation of life is one of the greatest origins from beginning to end, especially for human beings as advanced intelligent life. So I want to use this to capture and carry that power. Unfortunately, the impact of the collision of the two worlds is still too strong. Although they only stayed in the secret realm for 1 day, nearly half of the fetuses died directly. In the follow-up training, pregnant women and fetuses continued to die. In the end, after 10 months passed, the last pregnant woman also died before giving birth. But what I didn't expect was that the child in her womb survived. The man looked at the little girl on the operating table with admiration on his face. Simply the miracle of life. As I expected, this child has shown a strong talent since she was a child. She has strong spiritual power and is extremely sensitive to the coming secret realm. Even before the arrival, it can be sensed, earlier than the early warning system. Not only that, because of the special relationship with the secret realm, she can also shield the fluctuations when the secret realm is about to descend. Absorb the energy that overflows when the secret realm descends and opens, so that the passage will not be discovered. Well, isn't this a very good tool? Listening to the man's words, the expressions of Tang Jing and the others all changed. If this is the case, then this little girl can be said to be very dangerous. At present, although there are many secret realms and cult organizations in China, the overall situation is relatively stable. The reason for this is that the coming of secret realms can be predicted and many crises have been prevented in advance. But this little girl can hide the arrival of the secret realm. Of course, looking at it like that, it must not be free. But as long as it succeeds once, it will be a huge disaster. Just like now, if the passage to the secret realm is opened, without any preparations, not to mention this village here, even the nearby county town may be slaughtered by the fierce beasts gushing out. In the eyes of several people, there was a killing intent rising. This lunatic can't stay. However, men are not afraid at all. What? Want to kill me? You don't really think I'm chatting with you? I'm procrastinating too. Ha 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 ha. The man laughed triumphantly. With the sound of laughter, Tang Jing's observation hockey keenly captured that many people were approaching the underground laboratory. This is the villagers who just fell asleep. It's just that they are in a strange state now. Tang Jing could sense that there was another life wave appearing in their bodies. When they came near the underground laboratory, these villagers did not enter the laboratory directly, but squatted down and shared the experimental items that had been turned into blood mud just now. As the flesh and blood entered their stomachs, their aura began to rise rapidly. S-class, SS class, SSS level, control level, more than 100 control levels. Even Tang Jing felt the pressure. Not only that, but the man at the door of the research room also erupted with powerful power fluctuations. The secret passageway in the research room behind him is slowly taking shape. Several, are you interested in joining my research? Awakened at the control level, if they are pregnant and enter the wild secret realm, the chance of survival should be greater. What if you get pregnant inside when the wild secret land descends? Lu Tanhua, a senior member of Wisdom Sect, invite a few of you to participate in the research. The man's eyes were full of enthusiasm. His eyes kept sweeping over the three girls including Tang Jing and Zhou Baiyu. Tang Jing's face turned black. What do you think I mean? Facing Lu Tanhua, who was obviously not a normal person, Zhou Baiyu didn't talk nonsense, just raising his hand was a gravitational wave. But Lu Tanhua's reaction was also very fast. As a gust of wind blew by, his figure disappeared in place. Why resist? Isn't it good to do experiments together? Lu Tanhua's voice came from the other side. At this time, the top of the underground laboratory has been opened by the villagers whose strength has increased dramatically. The entire laboratory was exposed to the moonlight. Lu Tanhua, on the other hand, was already standing in the middle of a group of villagers. The villagers chewed the flesh and blood of those experimental subjects in front, and surrounded Tang Jing and the others. As the villagers approached, it could be seen that, compared with the previous experimental products with a little basic human shape, these villagers had completely turned into ferocious beasts. And their strength is even stronger. Sorry, Junior. Zhou Baiyu said in a low voice. Do what you say and get ready for battle. Tang Jing didn't blame anything. After all, no one wants to encounter such a thing. Moreover, for this kind of mission, the opponent is still a difficult cult organization, so it is quite normal for some accidents to happen. Although this accident seems a bit big. I'll stop them later, you find a chance to escape. I tried it. There is a super interference shielding device here, and the signal cannot be sent out, so call for help immediately after you leave the shielding area. After all, you are fast. Zhou Baiyu said hastily. Escape, sister, don't be kidding, that guy is also good at speed, he won't ignore this. And, turning to look at Zhou Baiyu, a confident smile appeared on Tang Jing's face. This is not something that a graduate of Function Academy should say. It's just more than 100 control levels, just kill it. A powerful momentum erupted from Tang Jing. Conqueror's haki gushes straight out. The surrounding villagers shook their bodies, but they didn't fall down. A look of surprise appeared on Tang Jing's face. He is not surprised that Lu Tanhua, a lunatic, can block the impact of conquerors. After all, a lunatic doing research has a different will from ordinary people, and his strength level is also slightly stronger than him. But these monsters, the will is so sleepy. Just when Tang Jing was puzzled, Lu Tanhua's surprised voice also sounded. Kamui pressure, or mental shock. W. No matter what it is, it's useless. This is the latest researched weapon in the church. Lu Tanhua said proudly. Is that so? Tang Jing smacked his lips. It's really a little scary. By the way, have you ever been kicked by light? Ah, with Lu Tanhua's lunatic thinking, he was taken aback by Tang Jing's inexplicable question. The next moment, a right foot made of light elements kicked towards Lu Tanhua's head. Since those villagers are not easy to deal with, let's deal with you, the messenger of everything, first. Tang Jing's eyes were cold. However, just as he was about to be kicked by Tang Jing, Lu Tanhua's body turned into a light blue wind element and quickly dodged. Lu Tanhua's body condensed on the other side again. Just as he was about to open his mouth to sneer, Tang Jing's left foot had already kicked him in the face. Speed of light, double kick. Knowing Lu Tanhua's fast speed, Tang Jing used this trick again. Lu Tanhua thought Tang Jing's first kick was everything. Unexpectedly, the second kick was the ultimate move, and it had already aimed at his landing point. Lu Tanhua was kicked directly due to mental calculation and unintentional calculation. The thick armament haki made the elementalization that Lu Tanhua relied on lose its effect. This kick can be said to be solid. Tang Jing even saw a few teeth flying out of Lu Tanhua's mouth. Like an ordinary person hit by a truck, Lu Tanhua's body flew out quickly and crashed heavily into the ruins of several collapsed buildings. Boom! The four of Zhou Baiyu looked dumbfounded. Especially Song Qi and the others were even more confused. Didn't the captain say that this is just a junior who has just broken through to the control level? Why so fierce? But Zhou Baiyu's reaction was also quick. The huge gravitational field was released instantly, covering all the villagers. Although it cannot directly injure them, it can also affect their actions and restrain them. I saw that the strange beasts transformed by the villagers immediately seemed to be stuck in a quagmire. Song Qi stretched out his hand and started air bombing. This time, she used the palm of her hand instead of her fingertips. Wu Ting and another man guarded Song Qi's side. A specially made mixed iron rod appeared in Zhou Baiyu's hand. While maintaining the gravity field, she began to attack the strange beasts that the villagers had turned into. Tang Jing's words made her a little irritated. Yeah, why run away? I am a graduate of Function Academy. I am the monster. Tang Jing glanced at it and saw that there was nothing wrong with Zhou Baiyu, then turned his attention to the ruins again. Although the kick just now was very heavy. But observation Haki told Tang Jing that Lu Tanhua is not dead. Not only is he not dead, but his strength seems to be even stronger. Backquote, clatter. A large wall was lifted, and Lu Tanhua, who was much bigger than before, appeared in front of Tang Jing. I saw that the white coat was supported by strong muscles. The only fly in the ointment is that his cheeks are a bit swollen. But Lu Tanhua didn't care. He stared at Tang Jing intently, his eyes almost glowing. The control level has this kind of speed, this kind of strength, as well as strong spiritual power, and the special ability that can cause damage to elementalization. Are you really unwilling to cooperate with me in the experiment, Zhao Zhao? I believe that your child will definitely be able to survive in the secret realm and acquire a powerful talent. Tang Jing's face turned black. You are so sick. For the first time, Tang Jing was targeted by a man who wanted his offspring. This made Tang Jing inexplicably feel terrified and wanted to beat him up. Hearing Tang Jing's words, Lu Tanhua's face gradually turned cold. So, you don't want to? In this case, I can only take some coercive measures. As soon as Lu Tanhua's voice fell, Tang Jing's vigilance rose in his heart. A foot wrapped in wind elements appeared behind him and swept towards the back of his head. Compared to just now, Lu Tanhua's speed is obviously faster. Barely dodging to avoid the attack, Tang Jing had not had time to react when a foot kicked him in the chest. This is the double kick he just used. A heavy force exploded in his chest. Tang Jing was kicked out heavily. Just like he kicked Lu Tanhua just now. Only this time, the roles were reversed. Tang Jing was still a little puzzled until his body hit the ground. How did Lu Tanhua master the speed of light double kick? Although his speed is not weaker than himself, but he can't observation Haki. Just when he was wondering, Tang Jing suddenly noticed a special force lingering around Lu Tanhua. This power also played a big role when resisting his own conqueror's Haki earlier. This is mental power. Tang Jing finally knew how Lu Tanhua did it. Mental strength. Strong mental power can completely achieve the insight and prediction function similar to observation Haki, and the mental power can be developed more. In addition, Lu Tanhua also has the means to cause damage to elementalization. Feeling the pain coming from his chest, if it wasn't for his strong body strength, coupled with the timely use of armament Haki body protection, Tang Jing might be kicked into a serious injury. I didn't expect to kick others every day, so much fun, but today I turned it over. Standing up again from the ground, although he suffered a loss, Tang 737 Jing didn't show any annoyance on his face. Because he found his own problem. He has always underestimated the world a little bit. This is especially true after he easily won both the entrance examination and the exchange battle. However, Lu Tanhua's kick made Tang Jing wake up. He still doesn't have the capital to be arrogant. Yeah, I'm just picking up people's teeth and taking some shortcuts. What qualifications do I have to underestimate the world? Looking at Lu Tanhua again, Tang Jing grinned, thank you for helping me understand a truth. As a thank you, I'll try to leave you a whole body. Before the words finished, Tang Jing had disappeared. The smile on Lu Tanhua's face gradually disappeared. He senses danger. Although Tang Jing's strength has clearly not broken through, and he is still at the first level of the control level, but he has a sense of crisis that he has never had before. A flash of light was captured by the spiritual power around her. Lu Tanhua didn't think about it anymore, turned around and punched him. However, at the moment when fists collided, Lu Tanhua realized something was wrong. ACCH. The power of this punch is too strong. Completely surpassed the limit of what he could resist. Seriously, one punch. Tang Jing's eyes were cold. On the other side, Zhou Baiyu and others are still being besieged by the strange beasts transformed by the villagers. He must go there to help as soon as possible. Lu Tanhua crazily mobilized the power in her body, even pulling the wind elements around her desperately. But it didn't work. Can't stop. Starting from that fist, his body collapsed inch by inch. His eyes were full of disbelief. As a crazy researcher, Lu Tanhua is not only crazy about his ideas, but also crazy about himself. He has carried out various transformations on himself, so he can have the power he has today. That's why he dared to despise Zhou Baiyu, the whole underworld team. He has always felt that his level is invincible. It's not that he hasn't killed even those in the third level of the control level. But now, a brat at the first level of the control level unexpectedly killed him with one punch. This is impossible. Impossible. Lu Tanhua was still screaming until her body turned into fly ash. Just when his head was about to shatter, a ferocious expression appeared on his face. I'm dead, don't even think about it. Let's all go on the road together. I saw that the head exploded before Tang Jing could shatter it. Then, a huge mental power roared out. His target is not Tang Jing, but the laboratory. It's the secret passageway. In the laboratory at this time, Zhou Baiyu and the others were still fighting with the alien beast transformed by the villagers. More than 100 control-level alien beasts. In fact, it is not as simple as 1 plus 1. Moreover, it can be called the latest weapon by Lu Tanhua, and their strength far exceeds that of ordinary control-level beasts. It even has certain resistance and immunity to attacks such as spirit, and has strong vitality. If Zhou Baiyu hadn't used the gravity field hundreds of times stronger to forcibly suppress these beasts, making their movements much slower, the situation would have been even worse. After finally killing the two strange beasts again, before Zhou Baiyu could heave a sigh of relief, Lu Tanhua's powerful mental power rushed towards him. He thought he was cooperating with a strange beast and attacking himself and the others, but Zhou Baiyu quickly realized that something was wrong. His goal is the secret passage. Zhou Baiyu's expression changed suddenly. After realizing this, she quickly gave up on the attacking beast and wanted to stop it instead. Although gravity cannot affect mental power, she is not without means to deal with mental power. It's a pity that Lu Tanhua didn't give her a chance at all. When the mental power rushed to this side, an invisible wave had already spread. The beasts who were struggling to move in the gravitational field roared one after another, a faint blood mist rose, and their bodies collapsed at a speed visible to the naked eye. But the aura has gone up to another level. In this state, they are already able to withstand Zhou Baiyu's gravitational field. Dozens of strange beasts are heading straight for Sunday Rain. As for Songqi and the others, they were entangled by the remaining strange beasts. By the time Zhou Baiyu escaped, Lu Tanhua's mental power had already rushed into the research room. After entering the research room, his mental fluctuations quickly synchronized with the little girl on the operating table, and then he stabbed fiercely into the passageway. As a passage linking the secret realm and this world, normally speaking, it is not easy to be shaken. Especially in the early stage of this passage, it belongs to the contact of two worlds. However, when Lu Tanhua's mental power fluctuated and reached the same level as the little girl on the operating table, the colorful Uzumaki was directly affected and expanded rapidly. It all seems like a long time, but it's really just a moment. When Tang Jing saw Lu Tanhua's head exploded, he realized something was wrong. But before he had time to do anything, that spiritual power had already rushed into the passage of the secret realm. Lu Tanhua completely disappeared, the one with no ash left. But Tang Jing knew that the matter was not over. It can even be said that it has only just begun. He has already felt the power of the crazy and distorted world law on the other side of the secret passage. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.